This is a video on the English language for SPM Trial Examinations for the year 2020, and then the focus is on paper 1. We are going to look at the trial paper from Melaka. Let's look at section A, directed writing, marks 35, and time suggested will be 45 minutes. In an effort to prevent the spread of COVID-19, schools have been asked to observe the Standard of Procedure (SOP) set by the Ministry of Health of Malaysia. However, you notice that there are some areas that can be improved at school. Write a letter to the principal of your school stating the problems you notice and the solutions. In your letter, include the following problems: face mask, hand sanitizer, no physical distancing, sharing food, symptomatic students show up to school, give one more problem, solution, fine, demonstration of hand sanitizing, supervision by teachers, daily reminder about the danger of food sharing, isolate symptomatic students, and give one more solution. Pupils should label all the content points in the question paper itself. For example, C1 face mask, C2 hand sanitizer, C3 no physical distancing, C4 sharing food, C5 symptomatic students show up to school, C6 own problem. So these are all the problems. And then C7 fine, C8 demonstration of hand sanitizing, C9 supervision by teacher, C10 daily reminder about the danger of food sharing, C11 isolate symptomatic students, and then C12 own solution. So these are solutions. When writing the letter, you should remember to lay out the letter correctly: addresses, date, salutation, title, closing. Use all the notes given. Give your own ideas when needed. Note: for your letter, you will receive up to 15 marks for the format and content points, and up to 20 marks for the quality of your writing. So format 1 is address and date, and then format 2 will be your salutation and the title, and then format 3 will be the closing. Let's look at the format for the formal letter. First, you need to have the address of the sender. For example, 7 Jalan Belian, Taman Belian Utama, 70300 Seremban, Negeri Sembilan. You can even write the address of your school. Next, we have the post or the position and the address of the recipient. Recipient here means that it is the person who is receiving your letter. So we can write the post, the principal, and the address: SMK King George V, Jalan Zabah, 70300 Seremban, Negeri Sembilan. And then don't forget the date. So the date is 6 September 2020. And then for the spelling for September, please spell in full and use the uppercase or capital letters. And then salutation, remember to write Dear Sir. And then don't forget that dear is very important. Okay, you cannot write Sir only. Then we have the title for the letter, Standard of Procedure in School. Then for the introduction, you can write I wish to complain about, okay, followed by your content. Okay, it can be the first content, and then you continue with the second, the third, the fourth, until the last content is content 12. Okay, so after that there is a sign off where you write thank you, and then make sure that you write yours faithfully, and then you have your signature. For example, Samantha Wong, and then please write your name in brackets, Samantha Wong, in uppercase, and then you can even write your class, Form 5 Melaka. So that is the format for the formal letter. Now let's look at paragraph 1, which is the introduction. Remember that you have to introduce yourself or oneself. For example, I am a representative of my classmate in Form 5 Melaka. Then next you have to write aim of your letter. I wish to complain about the standards of procedure SOP in our school. So these are the two ideas you have to write in paragraph 1. You have to introduce yourself and also mention the aim of the letter. Now let's look at paragraph 1, which is the introduction. You can write example, I am a representative of my classmates in Form 5 Malewar. I'm writing this letter to complain about the standards of procedure SOP practice in the school. Another example, you can write, my name is Samantha Wong and I am a student of Form 5 Malewar. The aim for writing this letter is to complain about poor standards of procedure SOP practice in the school. And then, you can write another example. I am Samantha Wong and a prefect in the school. The aim of writing this letter is to complain about lack of standards of procedure SOP practice in the school. And remember that complain COMPLAIN is the verb, and then COMPLAINT is a noun. Now we are writing all the contents. So C1 will be face mask, C2 will be hand sanitizer. So let's look at the examples. First, there are students who do not wear face masks when they come to school. Others do not wear it properly while in school. People are recommended to wear masks in public settings, like on public and mass transportation, at events and gatherings, and anywhere they will be around other people. Masks may help prevent people who have COVID-19 from spreading the virus to others and are most likely to reduce the spread of COVID-19 when they are widely used by people in public settings. Masks are recommended as a simple barrier to help prevent respiratory droplets from traveling into the air and onto other people when the person wearing the mask coughs, sneezes, talks, or raises their voice. This is called source control. Another problem is the lack of hand sanitizer in the school. Although they are placed at strategic places like near the entrance, at the school office, and at each block, these sanitizer bottles are often vandalized or go missing. A lot of information is being presented about how to prevent coronavirus from affecting us. Perhaps the most important thing to know is that medical experts agree that the best way to stay healthy is to wash our hands with soap and water. But if those aren't available, hand sanitizer may help rid our hands of unwanted germs. For paragraph 4, we are using content 3 and content 4. Content 3, no physical distancing. Content 4, sharing food. Let's look at the sample. Answer. Moreover, there is no physical distancing in classes or when students are buying food at the canteen during recess. They tend to flock together, chit-chatting away. Physical distancing helps limit the spread of COVID-19. This means we keep a distance of at least 1 meter from each other and avoid spending time in crowded places or in groups. Despite daily broadcasts of standards of procedure, some students continue sharing food in class. Some were caught red-handed by the prefects on duty. There is currently no evidence to suggest that COVID-19 can be transmitted through food or food packaging, but sharing food and beverages is discouraged. However, it may be possible for viruses to survive on surfaces and objects, reinforcing the need to observe proper hygiene and food safety practices. For paragraph 5, the contents are C5, symptomatic students show up to school, C6, own problem. So let's look at the sample sentences. In addition, some symptomatic students will show up in school. The virus can cause a range of symptoms, ranging from mild illness to pneumonia. Symptoms of the disease are fever, cough, sore throat, and headaches. Some students with fever or cough are sent to school by their parents. These students should be monitored by parents, caregivers, or guardians for symptoms of infectious illness every day through home-based symptom screening. Students who are sick should not attend school in person. Students check their body temperature every day before entering the school premise. Temperature checks on students and staff are located near the school gate. Scanning is done when we place our forehead near the thermal scanners, but there are students who use their palms instead. This action will not be able to detect the correct temperature. For paragraph 6, the contents are C7 fine, C8 demonstrations of hand sanitizing, and C9 supervision by teachers. So we can write, I would like to suggest a few solutions to the problems that I've stated above. First, students who fault the SOP should be fined. Not wearing face masks the proper way or not practicing social distancing means they will get a stern warning from the prefects and also disciplinary teacher. The disciplinary board could determine the types of fine for the students. Next, teachers could conduct a demonstration on the proper ways to wear a face mask and wash hands. They must remind the students to adhere to its COVID-19 guidelines. Washing hands, often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, is essential, especially after going to the bathroom, before eating, and after coughing, sneezing, or blowing one's nose. If soap and water are not available, students can use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% of alcohol. I would also like to propose more supervision by teachers. To encourage students to stick to the rules, it can be helpful to create a do's and don'ts list with them. Develop a list together around how students will greet each other, how desks will be arranged, physical distancing measures during lunch breaks, who they will sit with, play with during breaks, and how they can schedule time with all of their friends across the week. Teachers also need to limit the mixing of classes for school and after-school activities. For example, students in the class will stay in one classroom throughout the day, while teachers move between classrooms. Or classes could use different entrances or establish an order for each class to enter and leave the building or classroom. Paragraph 7. The contents are C10, daily reminder about danger of food sharing, C11, isolate symptomatic students, and C12, own solution. So you can write, next, daily reminder about the danger of food sharing should be blasted on the PA system, especially before and during recess time. This constant reminder will definitely help to deter them from sharing food or utensils with one another. The school management should also isolate symptomatic students in the sick bay or a class used to temporarily isolate the students, and before they are sent home or to hospital as soon as possible. Last but not least, make available 60 to 70% alcohol sprays and tissues at each student's desk. The Parent-Teacher Association could purchase these for the school. All students should wipe down their tabletop and chair before sitting down in class and when finishing for the day for the next class. Then, school cleaning staff should clean all the class floors at the start and the end of the period as well as in between the new batch of students. For the last paragraph, which is the closing, you can write your hope or your wish. For example, I hope that the school will improve the SOP to ensure better safety. Or you can write, I trust the school will remedy the problems without delay. These are examples for the last paragraph, which is the closing or the conclusion. You can write example number 1. I trust that you will view this matter seriously and take whatever action that may be necessary to make the school a safer place for the students and staff. Number 2, you can write, the above are my suggestions related to the SOP. I hope they will help the school management solve the problems. Number 3, I hope the school authority will take immediate action to improve the conditions for the SOP for the safety of all. And the last example, the objective of the SOP are for proper management and measures to control the spread of COVID-19. So I hope that you will look into the matter. We have come to the end of our discussion where we did a discussion for the trial paper for the year 2020, and it is for the first part, which is directed writing. And then don't forget to watch my second part, which is for the continuous writing. Thank you. That's all. I'm signing off. I'm Madam Gan. Bye bye.